because I have a homie who's just really into making music and like meeting people and creating stuff. And I keep telling him, I'm like, Postal Service is hiring. I feel like that would be a fire job for you. Just like walk around, rap to yourself, listen to beats. So I'm curious if like, is he just writing on the job? Is he must be seeing and experiencing so much. So that was cool to me that he included that in the bio and definitely caught my attention. And now I have way more questions about him.
Yeah, the Eric Spoelstra post LeBron James line was one of my favorites too, one of the standout lines too. And I look forward to more submissions in the future from this pair for sure.
Welcome to episode 13 of Stamped. I am your host, Samuel Patrick. I'm joined today by Kiki.D. And on this show, we review and celebrate some of our favorite submissions that we get at LFOD Life. How you doing today, Kiki?
Happy Black History Month to everybody. That's what I want to make sure I say in this episode, but I'm feeling pretty ready today and feeling good overall.
I'm with it. I like the colors today. I like the presentation. Literally ready.
Oh yeah, like red.
It's gonna be one of those type of days.
Sure, yeah. There's a lot of yeah. I appreciate it. But yeah,
and definitely, are you doing anything on your end to celebrate Black History Month?
now that you've mentioned the frame and the scene that I've created, that points more attention to Black History Month. It makes me feel like I'm celebrating it, doing stuff like this that may or may not be intentional. This is like a black on. I mean, it says Black Monarch on the front.
Oh,
So I
fire!
I'm like tempted to say it doesn't get any blacker than this, but no, uh, no, no ways yet. But it's not too late.
Right
We're
in the
right in the
middle.
heart of it. Yeah, the heart of
Yeah,
it.
that's what's up. I'll take a second. Shout out the homie Ryan Easter. He's at Mr. Ryan Easter on Instagram and Twitter. He's been kind of reimagining some of the Black History Month presentations and things like that. And every day he's been dropping a new slide with new facts and new features and new info. And it's been, he's got a funny sense of humor. I think he's funny at least. So it's been amusing and entertaining as well.
Got
Um,
it.
I know for Groundhog Day, he did, check the Doppler. He's, he's, he's like, we check the weather. White people have a groundhog. Anyway, so let's get into this. If y'all are tuned in, you got opinions you want to share with us, we're sharing ours today, but you can drop yours in the comments or at LFOD Life on everything. It's scrolling right in the bottom there. First up today, we have ProQuo with Freedom Corner. This is a pick from Kiki.D. We're going to get into this right now and be back with some thoughts.
So the soul is detrimental when I hit the instrumental with the pen, don't use a pencil. You understand the code, so conversion is eventual. No diversion, I'm essential. How you doing though? Instrumental hit the studio. Truly more than making music, so fan first, stand firm for that freedom quote. Plans work, we immerse with the jury though. Yeah, how you feeling, how you doing though?
Feeling good.
Instrumental hit the studio. Truly more than making music, so fan first, stand firm. What you doing, bro?
You place me in the verses with these rappers this hot, and I will place them in these hearses in the back of a box. Got a catalog that stretches like a jacket.
Yeah, shout out to ProQuo. Shout out to the duo and that song featuring Fly. I really liked it for, let's see, Professor Lyrical's voice definitely stood out to me. Nice classic hip hop vet on the track, paired with J. Cocaine Cruz. I mean, you could tell they've been doing it for a while, and the song felt and screamed like brotherhood to me. So that's why I stamped the song. And, I'd say I'm glad to be able to also remember back to maybe about 3 years ago when I saw Professor Lyrical, who was pro of the duo ProQuo, at a panel where he was the speaker. So it's always nice when you're at events and you see people who are polished, they're versatile and well-rounded. In his case, he's a public speaker, he's a professor, he's an artist, and you don't always have to be afraid to show that. What were your thoughts, Drift Sonics, on this track?
Word. So you're familiar with them. That's dope. That was my first time hearing of them, but they're definitely out of Mass. Do you know who was who, like first, second, and third? That might help me.
Yeah. So first was Quo Kane, J, which is Quo, and then second was Professor Lyrical, third was Fly.
Bet. Okay. Yeah, it was smooth. It did kind of feel like being on a corner in a cipher, and then they were dropping a bunch of info. I know Lyrical was talking about he was dropping lots of names in there like Stokely and Mega Evans and dropping things like that. He had the Spolstra with the Heat. Like he was really kind of running on this name change, both with historical figures and events and sports analogies. So I caught that. My favorite was the guest feature for sure on there. He sounded really polished. So one of them's a college professor and the other's a postal carrier, which I learned from their submission email, which is dope because I have a homie who's just really into making music and like meeting people and creating stuff. And I keep telling him, I'm like, Postal Service is hiring. I feel like that would be a fire job for you. Just like walk around, rap to yourself, listen to beats. So I'm curious if like, is he just writing on the job? Is he must be seeing and experiencing so much. So that was cool to me that he included that in the bio and definitely caught my attention. And now I have way more questions about him.
Yeah, the Eric Spoelstra post LeBron James line was one of my favorites too, one of the standout lines too. And I look forward to more submissions in the future from this pair for sure. And yeah.
Absolutely. Shout out ProQuo. Thank you guys. Appreciate you sending this in. And that's from DJ Edition, sent it our way. So shout out to him as well. All right, so for my pick, we're going to go a little different direction here. This was from DJ Brown, sent this one in. And this is Theo Major and Shawn Smith. It's called Supa. You're tuned into Stamped.
This how I stay, how you was dancing like Danny Lane, hey. And if I may, spin on your block like a Beyblade. Make every day like a payday. Make every day like your birthday.
Hit my phone up, cut some chills off, fuck the feels off, need some real shit, something to build off, fuck the games, I done did it twice, you know everything real, I ain't selling you.
Alright, shout out Theo Major, Shawn Smith, they did their thing on that one. And one more time, DJ Brown sending it in. For y'all that are submitting, we have a little section that says message, and you can put some info about the song. He included this, which I wouldn't have caught from it, but this is actually... so Theo wrote this from the perspective of the guy who took his college girlfriend from him, buying her Starbucks every morning, this, that, and the third. And he ended up losing his girlfriend to this other guy. So I really liked the singing in the background of his verse. I thought that was cool. And I feel like this was like a real good basis for a formula. I think they could be on their way to having a hit, like a bigger hit at some point soon. If I'm being critical, some of the slang was a bit dated, and maybe like a little bit different mix could take it to a higher level. But overall, you know, still a good mix, a good record. I hadn't seen the video until just now. I had only heard the record, and I enjoyed the video as well. So shout out Theo Major, Shawn Smith. Definitely enjoyed that one. I'll be on the lookout for more from them. Kiki.D, any thoughts on your end?
I mean, when you talk about a great video, in this case, you also got to talk about the great concept overall. And you could tell that the direction that they chose to go in when you listen to the song and the production, with the way that the melodies were mixed and the way, again, the beat was structured, it made an impact and influenced you. The same here. And so I appreciate that. And I look forward to seeing that bigger hit like you alluded to. It doesn't feel too far away. It doesn't feel too far-fetched for them. And yeah, this group that's working together, they might have songs in the vault already. I wouldn't be too surprised. You get what I mean? So let's see. Let's see. But as you can see, I am close to double stamping it, but for a lot of the factors that I just listed, I'll stay on the fence for now and look forward to another submission that might let me know. I'm glad I waited. I also like the Blay Blay line, the Danny Lay line. Those are lines that stood out to me. But as you can see, it's just, I feel there's nothing wrong with, as a listener, wanting more, wanting to wait for more, and feeling the confidence that they can produce that. So that's what I mean when I said the reasons you listed, but the reasons that I listed. It's just I'm looking for something more in my ear right now.
Bet, thank you.
But it did make me dance, and that was pretty close to it. Okay, but something.
I saw you.
Yeah, it definitely made me. I felt the groove, but something a little bit. Let's see. They're not too far from it.
Bet. All right. Shout out, y'all. Thank you for sending it in. And if you're an artist at home and you're curious about how this is going down, where we're getting these records, all that, you can hit lfod.life/stamped. What we do is we review, well, those first two we go through, and we go through our submissions inbox. We get tons of stuff that we share on LFOD radio, in our monthly newsletter, and just, across the board, with friends, family, whatever, all that good stuff. We pick some favorites here. We also have another level in which we review and provide constructive feedback for all our submissions. So maybe you've been submitting for a while and you haven't seen yours pop up, or you're watching and you're saying, damn, I have more fire than these guys. Well, send it in, go that route, and what we'll do is we'll give it a listen critically a number of times. We'll come here with some notes, and our top ones will make the episode. But even if you don't make the episode, we'll send you video feedback of your song, so you'll get some content for social media that you can use to level up, and you'll just get a feel for how your music's being accepted and where it could fit in, what you could do with it. There's a lot of different lanes. Sometimes having another set of ears can make a huge difference. So we're here for y'all. If you have any questions for us, you can hit us at LFOD Life. With that being said, our next submission here it did come to us via that route. This is 2 months in a row. We're hearing from J-Ferr. This one's called Nectar. It features G.O.D. We're going to check this out, and Kiki.D and I will be back with our thoughts on it after this.
Ball head bitch and she ain't got hair. BB's on my neck, man, it got me all way. You ain't gotta ask the name, cause you see it with a glare. G.O.D like God, but I'm gonna give him hell. Drip on my body, I feel like Michael Phelps. How you hating, you broke, man, it's bad for your health. Do the dirt myself, nigga, I don't need help.
I made to LA off the plane like lesson. Lay another track, get sucked like nectar. Money can't fall like the clothes in my dresser. Red around the nose, it gets blown to get fresher. In the hotel, 5 stars, that's extra. I don't give a fuck, get up, no stressing. I don't take L's, only learn my lessons. Still looking down, I'm up, no question.
Feeling that one?
I would say, since in this episode I created a new phrase, I want to hear this song get closer to my ears. This one was far from my ears. So initially when I clicked on the song, though, I didn't see G.O.D's name, but I was happy to hear his voice, and that's a great sign as an artist. Anytime your voice is playing, someone doesn't need to see your face or see your name, but they're like, yep, this is who it is. And I believe that also shines a light on J-Ferr, meaning good selection as far as a feature, a collaboration. They're headed in the right direction. Not sure if they match each other's vibe more than the way that they matched each other's flow. We saw that they match each other's structure and flow for the most part, but vibe, maybe seeing it in a video, a music video would help, but I didn't hear it on the song enough to even picture it. So I want to hear your thoughts as well, but that's what I would say overall about Nectar. It was nice to see J-Ferr again, and nice to see G.O.D.
Come from the city where they got no fear. Yeah, shout out Gio. I like this one a lot better than the last song he sent in. It was a lot more modern. He kind of reminds me of French Montana a bit. Like his voice there. I don't know. That hit me this time. That might be something to look into. This song was just like pretty relentless, I would say. It's like 2 minutes, no breaths. Good like middle of the album song, or like a future Lil Baby style where you just drop a 20-song tape and just hit people over the head with one after another. Definitely hear it in that sort of lane. Consistent with last time. It's another good live one. He kept going with the bars. I think that's probably going to be J-Ferr's calling card. Very confident. I like they said, never count your money before you count your blessings.
And modern sounds accurate to me, as you described. Like, that's cool. And at the same time, that's why you got to be careful with that, because similar to how auto-tune was used and still is being used, but the way it was introduced, we're going to listen to certain artists and say, yeah, it fits you. And it's modern, right? But then we're also going to look at and hear other artists from time to time and say, it doesn't fit you. But it's modern, so you're on the right direction. Or you're on the right track, headed in the right direction. And that's what I mean when I say, you're on the right direction, but it can't be so obvious that you're missing the mark. As far as like others who may take a more experimental approach. So that's the pros and cons of when you want to go the modern sound where it is popular, or where you can say, oh, French Montana. Again, modern, I associate that with being radio friendly.
So do you prefer less radio friendly music, would you say?
I would say the opposite. Yeah, I really do see why a lot of the songs on the radio are on the radio, and then I see the patterns in them, so I can appreciate it. And modern is repetitive, essentially. There's more. They are the majority. But if you go the more experimental, the more underground route, you're going to stand out. And sometimes you're more respected taking that route. But in this case, yeah, kudos to playing it safe. That's how I'll also describe it. But if we're going to do that, yeah, in this case, I'd say we missed the mark. That's all.
All right. I just want to make sure I understand. So basically, you're saying if you're going to go this route, you really got to knock it out of the park and create something that you could hear on the radio. Otherwise,
yeah, there you go.
It's worth being different with it.
Knock it out the park. Yeah.
Okay.
But I agree with you that this song is an upgrade from the last submission that he sent. But yeah, because like you said, like you asked, I do like radio friendly songs. So for this one, I have even a more soft spot. It's like, I want to hear a banger, because it sounds like he went for a banger on this one, as opposed to the last one. Viewers, go and check episode 12. That song that J-Ferr submitted was more hip hop, classic sounding. Let's take it way back. Bars. This one was like, I want the song to be played in the club. I want this song to be played with the lights off.
All right, J-Ferr. Well, we know you're working. We know you're working. So, and you're definitely seeking out advice and input and things like that. So we know we're going to hear something from you, and definitely appreciate you continuing to send records in. Now you got an idea what we want, or at least what Kiki.D wants. And I look forward to hearing if you go that route or where you take things. But you're definitely in the studio, so stay in the studio, stay working. And thank you for submitting. Thank you to all the artists who submitted: J-Ferr, ProQuo, Theo Major, and Shawn Smith. we'll be back again next month with more for you. I want to thank you, Kiki.D, the LFOD team, and all our members who make what this do possible. Everyone tuning in, if you enjoyed this and you know an artist who could benefit from this, or if there's an artist you'd like to see on here, please share it with them. If you found a new song that you like on this, please let the artist know where you heard about them. Share it with your friends, etc. Hit us with comments below or at LFOD Life. But it wouldn't be right if we got out of here without some closing thoughts from Kiki.D. So what do you have to say to us today?
Hey, I want to say, building on how I came into this episode ready, that in life it's also important to carry a business card and still in 2023 stay ready in those ways. I just attended an event this past week, met Lupe Fiasco, didn't pass a business card to him necessarily, but there were 2 other people unexpectedly that I had a business card for. In fact, I only had 2 business cards on me. And the feeling of staying ready, the feeling of just being ready for whatever comes with the day, or it comes in an event. And like they say, showing up is so important. And that's what's on my mind and how I would like to close out this episode. And in those ways, I believe that's how you celebrate Black History Month. Stay ready and the results will show, but never ever count yourself out by, being unprepared if you can prevent it.
Yeah, I feel that. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. All right, thank you, Kiki.D. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Catch you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Positivity is a better movement. Let us do this. Level up and get into this evolution. Revolutionary math and music. Get us choosing everything but less excuses. Shout out to the kings and queens with everything to lose. They never lose it. So much glory.